It can be lonely. I mean, you're going through the motions and things are busy, but you quickly find like, okay, you're the one person doing all the things.
You're watching Becoming a Better You with Dr. Marc Bochner and Dr. Jessica D'Andrea. And in this episode's second half, we're breaking down the truth about business, patient care, and what it really takes to get results faster in today's world.
So you're like an upscale office, right? Even when I walked in, I saw,
You could definitely call it that.
Yeah.
I mean, we just want to be that place where you're welcome, you're going to get better. You want to come even after you get better to stay feeling good,
But you know what I mean, though? So like if you were that model, okay, you're cash-based, but the model comes in and it is that sterile environment.
Right.
Where it's, you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, why am I paying for this?
Yeah.
There's a reason why people...
There are some places like that, but I get it.
Yeah.
I think it wouldn't be as, I feel like, enjoyable and...
Well, there's a reason that people pay
Yeah.
to stay at the Ritz-Carlton or the Porsche, right?
Right.
There's certain people
Our
that...
patients aren't rich even, and it's really like a big misconception. Most of our patients, like, they're not like...
But they want that higher level of experience.
They want to
Yeah.
get better because they've already tried basic,
Yeah.
right? They've tried traditional basic care, and not to knock it because it does help a lot of people get better, but for our types of patients with chronic pain, health conditions, years and years, and even some that are newer dealing with conditions, they've already tried different things. It's time is money, so it's costing you time just going through all these places that were free, right? Insurance isn't really free, but in people's minds, I think they think it is. And there's nothing wrong with that because it's also, for us, a great starting point when they have gone through all those things. So they know what that level of care is like, and now they know what our level of care is like. And it's still good sometimes. People do make some progress. It's just not quite all the way. And
Well, you're either paying time or money.
yeah.
Especially as an entrepreneur. Are you going to just try to figure this out? Or you're just going to pay somebody to tell you what to do and get there faster, right?
And so it's like, yeah, sometimes, honestly, the patients who have kind of gone through that journey, they do so well here because it's not mentally beating them up like, oh, I could have done this for free. They've already gone through it. They already know this is so different. And if they have nothing to compare to, it can sometimes be a little bit harder. It's not to say that we don't have patients that have just started with us. And, like the average patient we have has been with me from where I used to work all the way 9 now, almost 10 years in. And then we just see them every couple months as a tune-up. Or we have snowbirds like that. And so they are like our legacy. They want to stay and feel good and continue to feel good.
So I think that's one of the knocks on physical therapy, when a therapist doesn't do any manual skills.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's funny how manual pays less than therapeutic exercise.
So I couldn't do as much.
But that would be the knock, right? I could do this at home. So that's why when I was a therapist, I made sure they always got usually a massage, like more of a deep tissue massage.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe a modality at the end. Honestly, a lot of times, maybe you didn't even charge for the modality, right? Because you did your units of manual.
Right.
You did your Therex. And if you were on the stim, you didn't charge for that. But it was like, well, they can't get this doing at home versus just here are exercises, right? Because if you also think business long term, if somebody can do what you're doing at home, they'll come back.
Well, that's it. And I always, like, patients ask that, or potential patients ask that on the phone a lot. What would it look like? And you want to really paint a very clear visual picture for them so they know a little bit how we're different. We don't have a gym here anywhere that I can see. We do have things in the treatment rooms, right? Like, there's no, like, walking around or observing a patient doing exercises because patients travel here for up to 2 hours. They'll travel to our clinic as a destination place to get the outcome. We end our very high level in the sense that, like, they are committed. They want to do the work. They don't need to be babysat and washed.
Well,
Can you catch me that? But also, it's a higher caliber of a patient where they are committed to getting better. They want an expert who knows what to do to take them through it. And there definitely are things that we will take about 5 or so minutes to make sure they are comfortable with doing the exercises at home. And we progress them every session. Or if we need to regress, we will. But it is a part of the care plan. It's just not done in the very valuable time that they have and that they're paying for. We want to do the things manually that, and modality wise, we don't do stim, but we do have shockwave therapy here and red light therapy, and we do.
Which I know very limited about. I hear
Yeah, shockwave has got an intimidating name, but it's a wonderful, innovative technology. It's about 25 years now. It's been around. But essentially, it's getting down to the stem cell level in your body very quickly after one application with high frequency or energy, pulse, vibration, and sound. So nothing's like going into your body or coming out of your body in a sense of like any, nothing's like being injected.
Can you
The
feel
needle-
any heat or anything, or no?
Not heat per se, or maybe a little bit surface wise,
Okay.
but you'll feel that vibration
Vibration.
and pulse. And it feels, it's a harder one to describe. It's different where you put it. So if it's over like a bonier surface, it can be a tiny bit tender, but for the most part, over larger muscle groups, like shoulder, bicep area, glute area, abdominal area, we do it over scars. It just feels like a pulsed vibration, and the idea is to get it to an intensity where it's tolerable, but you don't want us to go up anymore. That's that threshold of like just on the borderline of being uncomfortable. And then next application that we apply, generally in the beginning it's about 6 applications, but you can kind of titrate it up and get them to a new threshold of that energy.
So if they book a session with you, is that part of the session that's like an add-on?
It can be its own thing. We have had that happen. We have patients that oftentimes we mix it in.
So like part of the, what I say,
It can-
pay you
yeah.
$100. It's
can-
part of our treatment that day.
It can't, so because it has its own sort of protocol, you can't really just do one, get an outcome from one application.
So you'd be like
£106
£106.
for certain things. If it's a scar, you might even need 9. If it's something more aesthetic, that's a bit more applications. But yeah, it's definitely something that you can mix into a care plan, depending on how fast. Because that's the beauty of Shockwave, is you kind of get there faster,
Sure.
which is why I love it. So we've had it for a little over 2 years now. We've been able to really kind of figure out the math of like how many manual sessions can you knock off and get there faster with Shockwave and get a care plan done quicker. But it is a personal preference, and a lot of patients, C-section scars and any kind of scar, it's amazing for. In other countries, they've already been using it for dementia and Parkinson's, and not yet here, but I'm sure we'll catch up soon. It's just, yeah, it's amazing. And it's like the next level of care. I think that, and it never was an insurance-based option, so I don't.
Which is
know if
another
it's
thing,
suitable or
right?
not, but
Yeah.
they have that shockwave therapy at hospitals. You can have it done for extreme back pain due to kidney stones, and they'll break up those
Okay.
restrictions. So people are learning about it there. But I think in the next like 5 to 10 years, you'll see more of it in regular clinics, because I think that's the new wave. Clinics are having to adopt some extra thing,
Sure.
whether it's dry needling or not like a nutrition,
So you asked me, what did PT school not teach? It'd be nutrition, right? Because a lot of the ailments that people are going through can be solved through, or made better through, like adequate nutrition,
I totally believe that.
right? Or like even, like how much protein do you get, right? Because there's so much information out there. If I was wondering, we recommend 1 gram per pound.
Right.
So if you weigh 160, it's about 160 grams. Now, are there caveats? If you have kidney issues, obviously you always check with your doctor.
Sure.
However, I see the results, right? So, like PT school, where they were always like, because I'm a martial artist, right? So, like everything I do is tactile. It's like, okay, did this work? That I look, I
Right.
see. You talk to people. In PT school, they're like, oh, get systematic review and meta-analysis. Don't go by what the other clinicians say. I get that, but I want to know what that guy who's been there for 40 years
Right.
in the dirt, being a clinician, what did he say works?
That's lived experience.
That's lived experience. And to me, that's better than systematic review, because in any research, there's always bias,
Oh, totally.
right?
Yeah.
Don't even talk about my research we had to do for get out of PT school. It was like 1,000, it was like 10,000 numbers. After a while, I was telling my
Yeah.
partner, I was like, yeah, it's like 6.426. I was like, I have no idea. Okay, we get no results. So, so you need to go by who's in the field
Right.
and what they see. And I see it. The women who hit their protein drop the fat, right? The women that start to do it and then drop off, they stall.
Yeah.
And the first thing I ask, you hit your protein? Well, okay, well, fix that, because that's the cogwheel. Once you get that down, everything else starts to. And then listen, if you lose weight and we need to cut back your protein goal, that's fine. But until you really learn to hit those numbers, one of the biggest tricks is putting in your coffee.
Right. I did that in the beginning, and it was great, because how much can you really drink? Because it's a lot of water, right? And that's
Yeah.
good, but I just enjoy
Right in your
it.
Starbucks.
I I just like any black coffee really, but
What's your hardest part about entrepreneurship? What's the most challenging?
the most, I mean, it can be lonely. I mean, I have a couple of different mastermind groups I'm in for that reason, because you don't what you don't know. And I like to kind of be around other business owners that are doing better than me and that give me like ideas and stimulate, and I can also bounce ideas off them. So that's the only thing is I don't have a partner. I don't really want a partnership, but it's
Well,
like
partnerships fail.
it can be a difficult. Yeah, I want to always be surrounded by other sort of business owners that are doing the things. And so that initially, as I started as a business owner, was the toughest thing, because again, it's like, you know, you're going through the motions and things are busy, but you pretty find like, okay, you're the one person doing all the things.
Yeah.
So I transitioned to then figuring out. But before I actually found different coaching memberships, I just want to be like the best PT out there, right? I just want to be the best myofascial chronic pain specialist, pelvic health.
You must be
And
closer.
then there are definitely people that do like not pelvic health and myofascial. It's just like, this is all we do. But then, yeah, finding different coaching groups and like that kind of like totally changed my outlook and everything, because like, oh shoot, now I just want to be the best business owner.
Yeah.
And I want to
That's
be
so
the best
different.
employer, and how can I give people opportunities that might be different and you know, fulfilling, and so that kind of like, all right, now I got to go to school and like learn the business thing. Like you said, we did get a section in grad school about it, but it was nothing like real world.
We had a business class.
Yeah, like you don't learn marketing, you know,
Yeah, I
metrics
made
and-
Can I tell you about my business thing?
yeah.
So I made a mobile PT clinic where I gutted a school bus, and I had a schematic, and I put like plinths in it,
Oh,
and
my
I put like
goodness.
Easton machine, and I used
Yeah.
like square back in that squares and stuff,
Yep.
and then I attached a trailer with a hot tub,
Okay.
and then I put like different colored circles,
Yeah.
like different ethnicities of people, and like a sunburned person. Yeah, I got an A.
Well, you think about it, there are now like Airstreams or like big sort of vans that pull those saunas, and you can rent one. Like you
I
can-
was ahead of my time.
right? You
Yeah.
already could see.
But
the
that was
future.
that was my business. Yes, I made a mobile hot tub PT clinic.
You never know.
Yeah,
And there's
but-
so many little satellite clinics kind of like that popping up, just
Are
for
there?
wellness,
I should
not
sue
necessarily
because
PT.
that
Yeah.
was my idea. Yeah, but again, like the idea of PT school is just to get you to pass the boards.
Yeah. Keep your patient safe.
Yeah, and pass the boards. Like, it's really not designed for anything else. 'Cause that's how you get accredited,
Right.
right? And like running a PT. So we have an intern. I don't think you met him. So we take interns from usually Kines at URI.
Yep.
Who come in and like, so we have one Andrew now, and he wants to open a gym, I think in Connecticut, and so we meet them first because we have a couple different ones. Some people will be like, oh, I'm in fashion marketing design. Okay, cool, but like, what do you want me to teach you?
Right.
Right. So he's already his personal training. He's getting his Kines degree, and he wants to learn the business of running a gym.
Right.
Cool. So like, this is how you teach it, right? And then we talk about marketing, or he hears me on a sales call. All right, stuff that can put you ahead. Andrew, this is why we do a $20 deal now
Right.
versus before we did a sales consult, right? But that took me years to figure out. So in PT school, like running a business, like there's just so much to teach, from lead gen to
Oh,
lead
totally.
nurture.
It's all separate.
And now with AI agents coming in,
Yeah. I'm behind on that. I need to get on that.
well, I think you're still ahead because you know about it.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like, okay, like if somebody gave me that information when I was a young PT,
Oh yeah, PTs now are like graduating and doing great with just an AI receptionist, and like they're ahead,
what's NAI?
right? AI, like someone's answering.
Oh, AI, there's the NAI. AI.
And they're doing their thing, right?
Mhm.
And they have the phones being answered and revenue being generated from booked calls, probably that they didn't lose because
Yeah,
have
so
someone.
I got my testosterone tested. So I'm on nothing, no peptides.
Yep.
Only thing I'm on warfarin for my fake heart. But so I usually go to a normal clinic and I get my INR tested. And they have a receptionist and they have the two phlebotomists.
Yeah.
But I had to go to a different clinic in Warwick, and it was a kiosk
Okay.
and just one phlebotomist. So like there was 3 of us in there. I just signed in on the kiosk, scanned my ID, and just waited
And then
for
you-
her.
Okay.
It was just her, by herself. And I was like, this is what the future's going to be like.
Well, it's so funny because now there are like AI companies I've looked into or I've seen advertised trying to rent a human to do things that AI can't do.
Love it.
I was dying with hands. Like, that's what it's come to. Like, there are some things still that we need humans for, of course, but
Yeah.
that just made me laugh historically seeing.
Yeah, but fundamentally, how does that change business, right? So for someone like you who's doing like PT, like I venture to say you'll be safe for a while, right?
Yeah.
Think about this though. If you're a massage therapist, which is the burnout rate's like 3 years anyway,
Right.
but they have a robot that I can self-control to do the massage and charge $40 an hour.
Well, they have the chairs. What do you do
Yeah,
a human for?
You put that business is going, right?
And even here, I mean, I would rather be ahead of it than behind it, and to have somebody answer on the weekends, right? To not grab the voicemail every time, to get something set up for yourself so that Monday you're ready to go and you're talking to a therapist. And that's kind of...
So do you know this? And it's funny because I was thinking when I was grabbing the stuff, right? Because this is the first video podcast you've done,
This is my first video.
Yeah.
I've done some for other people, but not my own.
but not to this level with this 3 cameras.
Yeah, this is like...
I do want to remind you guys that she has the light totally on her. I have no light on me right now, but it's fine. But so like when I was going to the car, I was like, okay, I've done the podcast before, right? But in my entrepreneurial journey, I've already learned that.
Right.
And I was like, there's probably so many things that she's done in her entrepreneurial journey that I don't even think of. You know what I'm saying? So everyone starts as an entrepreneur, but you just do. So the biggest thing that we see now is, do you know how many minutes, let me phrase this the right way, how quickly you should get to a lead where if you don't get to them in this amount of minutes, it's a 95% drop-off rate that you won't.
Yeah,
You know,
I'd say 3 to 5 because it's like the speed to lead is everything. 5, yeah.
after 5 minutes, it's 95% chance.
I obsess about that with
Yeah.
our team because a lead might come in and like, you know, there's stuff going on, it's busy.
Yeah.
I try not to take over and do it, but a lot of times I will. And that's where AI will come in and help us because, again, you want that auto reply as soon as it comes. Because they're looking at some other places, and that's human nature, and I would be too. But attention span is short. It used to
definitely
be
different.
7 minutes, I think.
Yeah, well, I remember, I think we have the attention of a goldfish
Yeah.
like 5 years ago. Now it's
Now
definitely less, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think that was like 13 seconds
And that's
back then.
why I think reels are best at what mine perform best at 9 seconds.
Yeah, so even when I watch like a YouTube video, if it's 7 minutes, I'm like, I don't know. It's crazy. And I think that, you know, when you want to grow like as a person, it's introspective, sitting down with yourself.
Right?
And like, we don't get that like now. When were you born? What year?
86.
So I was born in 83. Do you know what they call us millennials now?
Really?
Yeah, because there's 75 to 85 or 79 to 8, whatever it is. It's like a 10-year period. I forgot when it starts. I think it's 75 or 79 to 86, whatever.
Okay.
It's the time period where like we grew up with no electronics, like
Right, that's true.
just your Nintendo, and then we
Flip
had
phones came out.
when we were in high school, right? So we were that one generation that like spanned the whole technology, which is very unique in society, right? Because you didn't have it, or like you only had it, and you had AOL and all that stuff. So we're very like.
I was never allowed to use it. But
Yeah,
like
if
high
you go
school,
on
we
those
had
bad
cell
sites.
phones.
Yeah.
No, just very protective parents. But
Yeah, so we understand what it's like to be bored
yeah,
and to go outside. Kind of like the last generation to do it. So you kind of have that perspective. And nowadays, like, when do you ever? Even me, I'm like, man, I put my phone down and I'm like, did someone message me?
Right.
Especially as an entrepreneur.
you got to turn it off. And I've learned over a while to just have to do that when I get home. That's my biggest thing is one or two maybe the last things I'll do in the car before I step out. But then I really try to put my phone away because I want to be present with the boys, my
Sure.
family. And even more so, like over the last year, that's been a big thing for me. I don't want to always be in the mindset of like I have to react or respond to this email just because I heard the email ping. It doesn't mean it's instant, right? Patients can wait, people can wait, right? And you have to feel, for me anyway, like
It's a
free of
balance.
it. Or not even, it's just like, you know, when I'm resting, I want to be like world class at resting and watching a movie. That's all I want to do.
Can you do that though?
Yeah, like
can't.
I have gotten so much better
Right.
at that, and just kind of being like I'll carve out time just to think because that is something that last year. I'm like, what? I'm just, you're like go mode all the time. Like, I just need to have from like 4 to 6, and I'm all going to do is think and write and really assess certain things. And that's made a big difference for me and how I show up here for my team, because I have a clearer picture of what we're going after.
Yep.
And you know, we annually plan and we have everything sort of mapped out. But you know, that's one of the things I've been able to get back into my routine here is some time obviously away from the treatment room, which is where I've been trying to exit a little bit, to grow the business, right? To be able to take on more patients, to help more people, and to help more therapists grow and develop skills, because this is their calling too. So yeah, like, and every situation is different, but 3 or 4 years ago, I would be like, oh my God, this person emailed me and I gotta get back. They're gonna think I don't, you know, like you can.
I think that comes to
Not the whole
maturity
thing,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's technology. You think, you know, you get worried that, oh, they got the email and they don't want to do this thing, or they whatever.
You mean like clients or employees?
It could be anyway. Yeah, it could be. But I think it's like your hours and your set times are boundaries. So if you close at 6, you shouldn't be expected to respond at 7.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. No, I get it. I mean, so we send videos, so when a lead comes in, they usually get we have the virtual assistants.
Yeah.
But we try to get a video to them, right? So before I came here, I was just like this, and I was like, "Hey, Jess, Sensei Mark here from Bachner's Martial Arts." Like,
Yeah.
but if it's for the fitness, because we basically have 2 businesses in one building, I have to be like, "Hey, Jess, Dr. Mark here from Bachner's Fitness," and sometimes I mess them up. I'm like,
Okay.
"Hey, it's Sensei Mark," you know. When it shouldn't be, but so we try to do that for them. And listen, sometimes people tell us to fuck off, right? But you have to be okay with that.
Is it because they're not expecting
Yeah.
the response? Or
Yeah. And we also have like automations that will check in with them,
Yep.
right? Because I mean, there's been people who, you know, maybe we send them a message like a year later, and now is the time. Just because it doesn't mean it's not right now. It doesn't mean it's not going to be right ever.
Yeah.
You
And they
know?
have lives going on of their own. It's not like any business is on anybody's top of mind.
You know what my favorite one is though?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
They'll opt in for like either fitness or like martial arts. So we'll reach out, and now my virtual assistants will call them, and they'll be like, "I didn't opt in." Yes, I just made up your whole
Your
name and your
twin did
number,
it.
and like
Yeah.
I randomly called you. But I get it. Like I understand. Like, and here's the thing too: if your job is to help people, you kind of gotta go through the weeds, right? Some people are gonna be like, "Fuck off, Mark," right? But like, if I'm legit just coming at you to help you,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Oh yeah.
You know,
And they
so
could be having the worst day ever, and
Yeah,
or
right.
they might not all be there, but yeah. And for us, we have had that happen with, you know, like different lead magnets or free resources, and they'll download it and they get put on like some emails,
Sure.
things
Drip.
that pertain to that. Yeah. And they're like, I didn't sign up for this. And I'm like, no problem. You can hit unsubscribe.
Yeah.
We'll do it for you. I wouldn't say it that way, but yeah. Or we used to do Facebook a while back, and you can schedule a call, and they could choose what time, and you have to put your name in. You have to put all. We can't just find that information. It's just like
It'd be
I
nice
wouldn't
if we
know
could,
unless
though.
you told us. So we
Just-
didn't sign you up. You know.
Yeah. So actually, it's interesting though. So I was listening to, one of the areas where I learned was Gym Launch, which is Alex Hormozy.
Oh yeah.
And the way I got into Gym Launch was, I was new to the business because, when I stopped doing PT full time, I had more time for the dojo.
Right.
And the person I was dating used to have like a little fitness thing, like a boot camp. And then we broke up, and then I had all this extra time, I let her use it, right? And I was like, well, I probably should start a fitness aspect to this, and that's how the
Yeah.
fitness came.
Okay.
So I started doing that, and then started getting momentum. And so then COVID hit, and I was like, I know exactly what to do. I'm going to add more classes, right? Because you couldn't.
Yeah.
And I was...
Virtually.
No, like just because at that point you could have 6
Oh,
in the,
that's
yeah,
right.
right?
So yeah.
I was like, I know exactly what to do. I will have more classes. And Alex Hormozy, who I had seen from through Russell Brunson ClickFunnels, we used to use
Oh,
ClickFunnels.
yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, I was watching it, and like I'm a bro, like I'm muscular, he's muscular. Like, I'm not taking that guy's advice. I could think. Well, you know what? Ego too. I can figure this out, right? I could do this on my own because I was first starting to become an entrepreneur. Even though I had a studio, I never ran it as a business. So I'll figure this out. And so I watched a video of his and So I was like, I'm gonna add more classes. He's like, the one thing you want to do right now is don't add more classes. And he's already like a millionaire. Like, and I was like, well, I guess I don't know what I'm doing.
Streamline.
And you know, that's how I started learning about business. And then it was like, okay, there's like a whole school of this. And honestly, from what I understand, business schools don't even teach it.
Oh yeah,
It's
you
the
get a degree, but it isn't the stuff that's going to get you where you want to be.
It's the entrepreneurs that teach or the business stuff like that. So that's how I really learned how to market the business and like do these calls. I'm like, this is what you should be charging.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of times, like in this industry, you know, fitness is like the only industry where like the amount of money you spend has gone down. When I was in like high school, I think I was paying like Future Fitness over here $30 a month when it was over here. Think about that. That was like 1999.
That's a lot back then.
$30 well, think of inflation now.
Yeah.
And then Planet Fitness is them are charging cheaper. You just
And
can't.
it used to be like $10 for something.
Yeah, but they had to go up because of inflation. So the gym industry, like the prices went down. Well, you can't support
Personal trainers though.
Personal trainers, yeah. That when you get the up echelon, but that's why a lot of people who do these like big group classes, like they keep closing because they can't make the metrics work. Right? Well, if you can't make the metrics work, then you can't help people, right? And again, so it doesn't matter what genre you're in. You could be the best chef there is,
right?
Like, but you put all that time in, those 30 years of learning. This is the recipes. This is what I do. This is how I cook it so no one gets sick. You're the top echelon. You get paid for that, right? So in different genres, I will pay you to take care of me. I will pay you more than like an entry-level PT who won't get me better and I'm still in pain, right? So like you have to know your worth as like an entrepreneur. Could there be levels? Of course.
Of course, yeah.
But like if you don't charge it, then you can't live. You're miserable. Their patients are miserable. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it is a business, but you're in the business of helping people. And if they know you care, they'll come to you.
Right. And it isn't like you're supporting a team. Half the spend is literally goes back into marketing. It's not that it's, you know, all take home, but at the same time, it is because you want to give a better quality of service and you do want to pay your team well and you do, you know.
Not want to have a dirty gym. We have a custodian. We clean it, but we also have a custodian. So it's all that stuff when you're a small business. How do you navigate that, right? Can I allot money for this guy to come in or am I cleaning toilets?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So obviously you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's definitely like you learn as you go, really, and it's I think for me anyways, having those groups in the networks that I've been able to kind of
Is it all PT or is it like
the one that I'm in now is not, but they're all women business owners.
Okay.
The one that I was in for several years is all PTs, and then probably also like a couple chiropractors and physicians and things like that, but majority PT. So, and some of them were in cash clinics, some of them were in insurance and trying to hybrid and then transition fully. So, and everybody's different and has different goals, so it's just interesting to see.
Well, I think that's an important. Like everyone has their own goals, right?
Yeah.
Because like I know, like could I start to call everybody within 2 minutes myself? Yeah, but like I don't want to do that.
Right.
And I know I don't want to do it. This is the quality of life.
But then, like for me anyway, when I did step out of that identity I used to have for myself as a PT, now I kind of just see myself as a business owner. But it's like, what the hell do I do with my time? And it's like, all right, now what am I really good at, and like what actually helps move my business forward that I do better than anybody else could. So I know what that is. So that's what I spend my time doing. Then, you know, everybody has their own goals here, but it took me a minute to like learn that and sit with it and actually really just get good at utilizing my time versus knowing every hour I was going to be with a different patient, which was easy and like
Because obviously
my zone, but no,
you have to work on your business, not in it.
Yeah.
But as much as I try to make my business not personality driven, because like, you know, that's the worst thing you want.